The statement is 2 pages and a half. The rest is an attachment highlighting all the public land we have in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, this is Statement to Parliament on the status of land owned by government institutions across the country, and it is signed by Honorable Judith Nabakoba, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. Right Honorable Speaker, during the 11th sitting of the second meeting of the third session of the 11th Parliament held on Tuesday, 31st October 2023, the House adopted the report of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs on the management and utilization of Uganda Police Force land in selected areas in Kampala. Right Honorable Speaker, during that sitting, you guided that the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development should present to this August House a statement on the status of land owned by government institutions across the country on Wednesday, 15th November 2023. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we all know and recognize the importance of land as a vital resource for socio-economic development of our country. As government, we have put in place measures to ensure that government land is effectively and efficiently managed and utilized well for the transformation of the country from a peasantry society to a modern and prosperous country. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, together with the Uganda Land Commission, have an inventory of government-owned land across the country, which I wish to lay on the table. I now beg on behalf of the Minister of Lands to lay on table an inventory of land owned by government all over Uganda. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the inventory indicates government property registered under Uganda Land Commission in every district of Uganda. It also includes both government land that is surveyed and unsurveyed. According to the verification exercise which is being carried out by the National Information Center, which is under the Ministry of Lands, out of a total of 17,296 parcels of government land throughout the country, only 4,146 parcels, that is 24%, are surveyed and titled, leaving 13,150 parcels, which constitutes 76%, unsurveyed and not titled. This situation has made it difficult to manage. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I need to inform this House that there is widespread encroachment on government land by some local communities and irregular allocations of government land by some district land boards. Right Honorable Speaker, in order to address the above cited challenges of managing government land, Uganda Land Commission is in the process of coming with a project that will undertake a comprehensive government land inventory. The project concept was submitted to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry and Uganda Land Commission are also encouraging all accounting officers to adhere to the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, which require all government entities to declare assets under their control annually in the National Assets Registry. This will also contribute to the updating of the government land inventory. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, engagements with other stakeholders to comprehensively document all government land are ongoing. We shall continue to monitor and manage government land as well as put in place measures to ensure that government land is secure and utilized optimally. I beg to move. Signed, Judith Nabakoba, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Government Chief Whip. Members, look at the report, look at the areas that you have an interest in, and study it very well, then we'll have a debate. A shadow. Honorable Yusuf, do you have anything to say? It's a shadow of infrastructure.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I've looked at the presentation, and I would like to thank the Minister for the brief presentation. But when you talk of public land, under the law, there's nothing called public land, but land owned by government. But the most intriguing thing, Right Honorable Speaker, is about what they call the inventory of land owned and controlled by government. I was the chairman of Kampala District Land Board, and I can talk from a point of authority that whatever has been presented as percentages actually do not exist. You're talking of titled and not titled. Most of the land is not titled but encroached upon. And after the coming into force of the Constitution, where you have lawful and bona fide occupants, the percentages are reduced. So it's really quite important that you should have something comprehensive to do a study and not rely on those figures or the inventory presented, which is historical. So as we talk in Kampala, virtually almost even the perimeters of State House are encroached upon and people have titles. So I think, Right Honorable Speaker, this is a serious matter. District land boards have abused their authority under the guise of the new law, and there is also a lot of protection of people by the law as lawful and bona fide occupants. So I think this is something which we have to really study comprehensively. A 2-page letter, I see it like a love letter. It's not good enough to do a good job. So the debate on Thursday is really a debate what will be in futility.
At least it's not a love letter to Hajj. Thank you so much. Honorable members, you studied that report, and I will ask different committees, different sectoral committees, to pick land belonging to different entities under them. If we are talking about gender, gender must speak for disability, it must speak for youth, it must speak for that one. So let's study it, and then we come back and debate on it, and different sectors should be able, different sectoral committees should be able to discuss. Because this arose out of land belonging to persons with a disability, how the land is being grabbed. Yes, Honorable Naomi.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and I also thank the Chief Whip who represented the Minister. However, I have a concern, Madam Speaker. When you look at the inventory which he has just laid, some of the land, it is just saying plot this, plot this. There's nothing like acreage, we don't know the size.
That's why we need to study it, so that we come back and debate on that and ask for a clarification. That you're saying this is a plot, how much acreage, on which road, if it is in Makino, in whichever road, we should be able to come back and get a clarification from the Minister.
Want it to be procedurally right, Madam Speaker, that instead of now asking, now that we have seen, she prepares since she's coming on Thursday to bring everything ready.
And that is fine, of course, for you, because you're first, you have seen it. Honorable Government Chief Whip, tell the Minister to come with all the details in regard to land owned by government.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I just thought maybe we could have it on record clearly, because the Shadow Minister pointed out that the communication from the Government Chief Whip was only of 2 letters, but he mentioned it clearly, 2 pages, sorry, but he mentioned it clearly that he had an accompanying document. So maybe the Minister could lay it.
The annex.
The annex
is also laid.
Yes.
It is laid.
So maybe he could lay it properly.
You know,
I don't know why Shadow Minister.
You know the problem, we gave you iPad, you don't carry it. Where did Naomi see hers from? Naomi was very fast in seeing it.
But it's the shadow who is saying it's only two.
It's an attachment.
Yes. What the
Tell her.
clarification?
Honorable members studied this report. And when you look at these reports, it even indicates the sectors. There are those under MAIF, Minister of Agriculture. There are those under trade. There are those in different sectors. So you should be able to look at them, Uganda prisons, Uganda police, and then you'll be able to appreciate. Thank you. Next.
Item 5.
Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I had raised the issue regarding the Employment Amendment Bill. This is a bill that we passed here with a lot of interest because it's going to help most of our people out there who are being exploited. And the Attorney General was not in the House. Now that he's in the House, would it not be right for him to explain where the bill is and why it has taken all this time before the President assents to it? Outside, I think it is 45 days that the President is allowed to be with the bill. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, this matter, I don't know why we are insisting. This matter can always be handled. The communication on these bills is between the Speaker and the President. And me, the Speaker, have said you will have it. You will have it. Huh? Attorney General is only to cross-check, but I will be the one to give you the final word. Because I'm the one who signs to go to the President, I want you tell her to listen. Next item.
Item 5. Statement by member on preparations for the Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers Conference slated for 3rd to 6th January 2024.
Honorable members, as you may already be aware, that Uganda will be hosting the Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers Conference from 3rd to 6th January 2024. And it will be done by Parliament of Uganda. In order to bring the members up to speed with the progress of preparations, the organizing committee that was headed by Honorable Abdu Katuntu is ready to report and bring us to speed on how far we've gone and whether we are ready to host our speakers and the presiding officers. And before he does that, I want to invite all of you, because I know he's ready, I want to invite all of you to the opening of that ceremony. You'll be there. Thank you. Honorable Katuntu.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues. Right Honourable Speaker, this is a statement to update you and the House on the upcoming 27th Conference of the Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth, in short called CISPO. Right Honourable Speaker, the Parliament of Uganda will host the 27th Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth from the 3rd to the 6th of January 2024 at Speak Resort Munyonyo. Uganda was confirmed as the host of the conference at the last CISPO conference in Canberra, Australia in January 2023, where yourself, Right Honourable Speaker Annette Among was appointed as chairperson of the Standing Committee. The official opening ceremony is expected to take place on the 5th January and to be presided over by His Excellency the President of Uganda. This is the background to this conference, Right Honorable Speaker. CISPOC was created in 1969 as an initiative of the then Speaker of the House of Commons of Canada, Mr. Lucien Lumorex. CISPOC membership is restricted to the speakers and presiding officers of national parliaments of all independent sovereign states of the Commonwealth. It consists of 22 bicameral parliaments and 30 unicameral parliaments. Currently, its membership consists of 74 speakers and presiding officers of national parliaments from 52 Commonwealth countries, and up to 180 delegates attend a typical conference, including the clerks and the secretary generals as observers. Right Honorable Speaker, it operates on a 2-year cycle, holding a conference of the full membership every 2 years, usually early in January, and a meeting of the standing committee at the time of the intervening year. These are the objectives of the conference. 1, to maintain, foster, and encourage impartiality and fairness on the part of speakers and presiding officers of Parliament. 2, promote knowledge and understanding of parliamentary democracy in various forms. And 3, develop parliamentary institutions. Right Honorable Speaker, upon your guidance, preparation for hosting of the conference has been ongoing since January 2023. Only that the focus at the beginning was on the preparation of hosting the 3rd ordinary session of the 6th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament, which was postponed to around April or May next year. Following the commitment to host this conference, a coordinating committee chaired by myself and consisting of Honorable Mwine Mpaka and Honorable Kaberuka James was established to coordinate the preparations. In addition, subcommittees consisting members of Parliament and technical staff were established to assist in the preparation of the various activities of the conference. These include the following: conference management, conference secretariat and documentation, IT support, accommodation, transport, media and publicity, protocol, medical and first aid, entertainment, excursion and tourism, spouses and accompanying persons, gifts and souvenirs, security and accreditation. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues, following the establishment and constitution of subcommittees, several meetings of the expanded coordination committee involving subcommittee chairpersons and secretaries, and meetings with the various stakeholders, in addition to the meetings of the subcommittees, have been held. The entities represented in these meetings are Civil Aviation Authority, Uganda Revenue Authority, Directorate of Immigration and Citizenship Control, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Health, Uganda Tourism Board, and all security organizations, including the Special Forces Command, Uganda Police Force, and Internal Security Organization. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the preparations are in advanced stages. All subcommittees continuously present their progress reports to the expanded coordinating team, or what we call a coordination committee, which discusses them and provides guidance. The agreed upon conference venue, Munyonyo Speak Resort, and suitable hotels to accommodate the delegates were identified and communicated to the delegates. A link has been provided for the members to book online. The deadline for registration was extended from the 16th November to 1st December, which is just a couple of days away. So far, photo speakers and presiding officers from 33 countries have confirmed attendance and apparently profiling the list for accreditation. I can mention the countries that have confirmed, Right Honorable Speaker: Republic of Tanzania, Namibia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Ghana, Malawi, Lesotho, Zambia, Canada, Botswana, Samoa, Tonga, Mauritius, Guyana, Pakistan, Antigua and Barbuda, Kiribati, Jamaica, Malaysia, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, the Bahamas, Mozambique, Kenya, South Africa, Kingdom of Eswatini, Trinidad and Tobago, Nigeria, India, Maldives, Dominica, British Virgin Islands, and host Uganda. The procurement, especially for offices, plenary hall, breakaway session rooms, and other requirements are ongoing. The Standing Committee approved the topics for discussion at the Kampala Conference. Security measures for parliamentarians and parliaments, for health and well-being support in parliaments, and the role of speakers and presiding officers. 5, a special session on building consensus for parliamentary business, the role of speakers and presiding officers. Funding. Budgets and work plans from all the subcommittees were discussed and harmonized to avoid duplicity of activities and tasks. These were incorporated in the budget of the Parliamentary Commission for the current financial year 2023-24. Expected benefits. Right Honourable Speaker, the country stands to benefit from this conference as the trickle-down effects on the economy will be felt immediately, and thereafter the benefits include there will be private visits to different attractions around Uganda, and this will continue to enhance the tourism potential and subsequently increase the income. Speakers and presiding officers will hold bilateral, multilateral meetings, and these are expected to strengthen ties between the different parliaments around the Commonwealth. Right Honourable Speaker, in that regard, Parliament Uganda will also foster cooperation with other parliaments which will create alliances and in the end strengthen diplomatic ties with those countries. This conference is especially important to deepen parliament diplomacy and augment Uganda's role in the Commonwealth parliamentary collaborations, as well as present opportunities to share experience, expertise, and knowledge on best practices. With the delegates, accompanying person, and other officials expected to grace the conference, colleagues, presents opportunities to create businesses and entrepreneurial linkages to cement trade relations with the visiting delegations. 6, this high-level event comes with increased tourism hits and its attendant dividends for the small, medium, and large-scale investors across the tourism value chain. CISPOC in general, Right Honourable Speaker, enhances globalization, which brings up opportunities for cooperation, especially in the areas of economics, public affairs, security, and general parliamentary diplomacy. Right Honourable Speaker, I call upon all members of Parliament to embrace the meeting and welcome the delegates in our usual warm way. When requested, kindly participate in the organization for this meeting. We have had one innovation this time round, Right Honourable Speaker. To entertain our guests, we are getting groups from upcountry. It has always been that we just look around Kampala and get groups here. This time, we are getting from the west, we are going to the west. From the north to do Bora dance, we are getting people from the north.
Yes.
From the east, we shall also get people from the east.
Yes.
To help expose these upcountry groups to international meetings, but also to earn a little bit of income, other than it is all about Indero group all the time, Indero group all the time.
Yeah.
Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable colleagues, I beg you to report.
Thank you so much, Honorable Katonto, and thank you for that report. And basically, the report is informative, and also it serves to invite you to get involved in the activity and attend the function. And I think we are good to go. When I see a family charity here, security will be guru. So we are set to go, and it's a good thing to host visitors, especially from all those countries.
Yep.
Should call yourselves lucky during your time in the 11th Parliament.
We are blessed.
You should be very happy to host those visitors. I want to thank you so much, Honorable Katuntu, and you will be glad to receive the visitors. And when the visitors are here, we'll show our good manners. And maybe this is also to inform you that on 21st we'll have end of year party. This time we are not going to get dancers from out. We have people in Parliament here who perform. We shall have Bangaina, we shall have the Hildamans, we shall have the Bualos of today. So on 21st December we'll have an end of year party in the compound here. Thank you. Next item.
Item 6.
Honorable Minister, you have something to say?
Right Honorable Speaker, I respect your ruling, and I want to thank the Honorable Katuntu for the presentation and also congratulate you for hosting that big meeting. I was just looking at, I say, since inclusive areas, and I saw gender and youth. This parliament is doing very well for people with disabilities. How I wish we bring that topic so that other parliaments can take advantage of that, and in future we might have a parliament of disabled people to discuss other issues. So I'm just asking that let us include that important group of human beings into the presentation. And secondly, I am also being reminded of elderly here. But secondly, I also want to thank the Right Honourable Speaker. You were not there during the national prayers, but what you promoted, our own, we danced, we clapped, and whatever. And he was so excited that the president gave him an envelope. I think even he got confused at a certain stage, Ibalat. And he really danced, and we danced in that thing, and everybody was enjoying. I think this is a good promotion, and I support it for bringing our artists from outside. But just bring us there. Thank you. Yalama.
The persons with a disability.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. It is noted, but as you know, the topics are agreed upon by us and the Secretariat in Canada. However, the second topic would be diverse and inclusive parliaments, where we had limited ourselves to youth and gender sensitivity, but we can as well discuss with Canada and put the issue of people with disabilities.
And since Uganda is the one discussing that, we'll include persons with a disability.
Exactly, because this particular topic is going to be presented by Uganda.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, Atat.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I would like the chair of the coordinating committee to confirm that management of the elderly should also be included. You have now included people with disability, but can you also confirm, so that it is captured, that you will also include in the topic elderly persons? Thank you.
You first get from him also.
I hear loud and clear. I'm sure the useful Honourable Cecilia Ogwal is worried about the elderly, but we shall try to take that into account.
You know, when you talk about inclusivity, yes, includes everybody. It includes the young people like Atat Cecilia. It includes the youth like... It's about inclusivity. Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, after listening to that wonderful report, I thought it wise that really I should take this opportunity to thank you and to appreciate. I know there are many countries that would wish to handle this conference, but I think it is because of your lobbying capacity that for the first time we are hosting it in the country. Therefore, just leaving that report without recognizing your effort we would be unfair to ourselves. Therefore, I thought I would take that opportunity to thank you. And as members of parliament, we are proud that you have managed to pull this conference. We shall be in history that the speakers, their conference and the Commonwealth will be hosted in Uganda. Then too, it confirms the maturity of the democracy of this country.
Thank you.
I don't think such a conference will be hosted in an undemocratic country. That shows that our country is maturing in terms of democracy and the stability and the peace of the country, as an anchor is making all this big international conference coming to the country. And as Ugandans, we will be aware to benefit from the benefits of these conferences. I know the benefits are immense. Therefore, I want to thank you. Continue to lobby more. After this, we should have others and others so that our economy will grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, you're so mean, you can't even clap for. By the way, we are also supposed to host APU, which APU is being headed by Honorable Nakut, African Parliamentary Union. Yes, Jonathan, then Martin.
Right, Honourable Speaker, it is true I should also go on record to thank you very, very much on behalf of the people of Soroti City that we are going to host this conference during your time as a Speaker of this Parliament. I am also a very happy man that it is going to come at a time when I am the Member of Parliament of Soroti City. Madam Speaker, I am in the committee, I'm at the Secretariat. We are going to do everything possible within our means to ensure that this conference is hosted in Uganda successfully. But I want to thank you. Let me thank you very, very much that you're doing a very good job. The world is happy, the women are happy, and government is happy. Thank you very much. I thought I would go on record on answer to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're forcing me to say FDC. This function is a country being hosted by Uganda. Therefore, we must be proud of our country. I thank you.
Honorable members, Uganda is bigger than any party. It's about
Thank you very much.
It is our
Thank
country.
You. It's our country.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I join colleagues in thanking you for enabling this country to host this particular event. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me also to thank the committee. It's a good committee, and we expect a lot from them. Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue of investment, I'm very concerned. We need to prepare ourselves as a country if we are to attract investors. In most cases, these functions, they come, but they find us not prepared in certain areas. And you find that people have come here. These are leaders who can go back and market our country. But if we don't have brochures that can market our country in areas of investment, people may go back without information. So I just want to ask the committee to come up with information in areas of investment so that these people can pick this information.
Minister of Trade.
Thank you.
Tourism. Back to you. We are promoting you. What do you have to?
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, first of all, for making this possible for Uganda to be able to host this big conference. And I also want to thank the wisdom of the committee through your leadership, that there was a special committee of tourism and trade. We are fully represented, by Uganda Tourism Board. So we'll be able to avail whatever is necessary that this country has to offer as a good tourism destination. So we have all this prepared for the visitors.
Maybe for your information, there is a team already coming by next week.
Right Honourable Speaker, colleagues, Malaysia alone is sending a delegation of 50 people, Malaysia alone. And many of them will not be doing politics of the Commonwealth. They're also coming as investors. So we'll be liaising with the Uganda Tourism Board and others of government to see whether they can have bilateral meetings.
Thank you. Thank you, Mehdi.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, if there is anyone worried, but also happy about the occasion, it's a Member of Parliament in Kampala. Because of the status of our infrastructure at the moment. It's two-way. I'm quite glad at the moment that there is a concerted effort from even you. First of all, as I add my voice to the others to congratulate you upon this dual milestone for the African Parliamentary Union Parliament being hosted here, but also for this Commonwealth meeting. It's a show of confidence that your colleagues have in you at the international stage, but also the desire to visit the Pearl of Africa, which is Uganda, because of its milestones in achievement. Now, I would like to call upon members of Parliament and the executive that let's all put on our boots and go an extra mile to see to it that we improve our infrastructure within the remaining days, in form of cleaning up the roads, cleaning up the drainages, maintaining the roads, and lighting our express. Let's start this from the airport. At the entry of the airport, the checkpoint has been moved away, and that's amazing, to a further point. But the road that takes you to when you're entering the airport is full of potholes inside the airport now. I was looking at people struggling on Sunday. That is true. When I don't know which route you use, Honorable Bobu, I can see you're surprised. Maybe they remove barricades for you and you just go through direct. But the road, you know, the turnoff towards the airport, and Right Honorable Speaker, you can go and visit, it is in a bad shape. And when people are moving, they still continue to carry luggage on their heads. And I mean, this is an image that we give our visitors that look here. We cannot even get an escalator at the airport, even when it's still under works, that people carry baggage from the parking and have to move with it upstairs. It is a little bit ashaming, and I know we can do it.
Thank you.
We have confidence in you, Right Honourable Speaker, and in this House, that if we want to do it for the nation, let's try to clean up the face of this nation from the airport to the express where there are no lights at the moment, and up to the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll do what we can do now, and what we cannot do will be done later. Okay? Zombo? Zombo, then you people, is it on the hosting?
Right Honourable, I want to take this opportunity also to add my voice and also congratulate you and the team for the lobbying for Uganda to host the Speakers Conference. Between September 22nd and September 29 of 2019, we hosted the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference here. And I was one of the panelists who facilitated the topic on climate change at Speak Resort Munyonyo. And it was well attended. There were resolutions that were passed in that meeting, and now that we are hosting the Speakers Conference, I think this is a big boost to build on what has been started, and the speakers are the ones, presiding officers in the different Commonwealth countries. I also want to commend you for including the committee for including environment and climate change on the discussions. As you may see, most of the Commonwealth countries, the small nations like Vanuatu, Samoa, Fiji, St. Kitts and Nevis, the Grenadines, even Dominican Republic, these are small countries that are at the blunt of suffering from climate change and environmental degradation. But as we talk about these seeds, the small island developing states, we should, in our discussion, also focus on countries that may not necessarily be small island development countries, including Uganda. We still have small islands within Uganda. In most discussions at the Commonwealth or at the IPU or international level, islands like Kome Island, Buvuma are forgotten, and yet they are also facing the same problem being faced in the Solomon Island. So I want to really thank you. And also want to congratulate Uganda, because I think next year will be very busy for us. We have the Commonwealth Speakers Conference, we have the non-aligned movement, we have the G77 and China, or the South Cooperation. These are all important meetings that will build on partnership, but also increase investment, but at the same time, improve the image of Uganda. I want to thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We'll also be hosting PAP, Pan-African Parliament will be sitting in Uganda. Professor.
Thank you.
I've got a new whip now.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I also join those who have congratulated you and the team you worked with to have this conference here. And I'm looking forward to seeing the benefits that we are likely to get. However, we need to draw lessons from past experiences. In 2007, before CHOGM, I was on a committee of 4 people, Right Honourable Mama Mbabazi, General Mujira, who is a member of this House, Dr. Mlema and myself as inspectors to check physically on what the organizing committee was saying. To our surprise, when we moved around to check on accommodation, what the hotel owners were telling the committee in terms of accommodation, it was not there. As a result, many of the visitors, especially on the business committee, those who are coming for business, some relocated to Nairobi, others went back because the accommodation was not sufficient. So I want to give a piece of advice to Honorable Katuntu, that some of the things you need to go physically and cross-check. The information they give you, in most cases, is for purposes of attracting winning contracts, when in the actual sense, you don't have the infrastructure or the resources.
Thank you.
It may also please you, Right Honourable Speaker, also to, through your office, to get some other few individuals who will go, like the work we did at that time. I resist being heckled by my colleagues. So, Right Honourable Speaker, we could share these ideas more with the organizing committee, but drawing from the experiences in the past are very, very important for a successful organization.
Thank you. Honourable members, one thing I want you to know, that we don't book for these members, they book online. They get the accommodation online, they book everything online. Isn't that what it is?
Right Honourable Speaker, this is not a conference where Parliament of Uganda is going to be paying accommodation for the delegates. What we did is to provide them the hotels, and they have booked themselves. However, every sector has a whole subcommittee. The one of accommodation is being headed by the Honourable Mapinduzi.
and they are detailed, they are thorough. The one of conference management is headed by the Honorable Okoto Gong. The one of tourism is headed by the Honorable Chibalia. The one of souvenirs headed by the Honorable, and spouses by the Honorable Cecilia Timogwal. The one on security is headed by none other than Jemedali.
You stand up.
Honorable Mshemeza, just note that the captain is an experienced hand at this. That you should trust. So every sector has got a whole committee, professionals experienced, and good enough. We have organized the CPA, we know what happened, and we also are around during CHOGM. So we pick experiences and so on. Right, Honorable Speaker, you should also be informing the House that this October, the Pan-African Parliament was supposed to be sitting here. Unfortunately, they couldn't because there are problems of leadership in South Africa. It is even bigger than this conference because we are talking about 500 people coming here for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So that is going to be another opportunity to showcase our country. And as they say, this is confidence in this country called Uganda by the international family and international community. We should continue doing that and portray ourselves as a destination for conferences, for tourism, and for business. I thank you, Right Honorable.
Thank you so much, Your Honorable members. I have an item that I need to finish.
1 minute, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I have two issues, Right Honorable Speaker. I think number one is we have very many visitors coming to our country, and we need to portray a correct image. Every time I drive around Kampala city, the mannerism, the manner in which the borders just go anyhow. I would want to appeal to the Minister of Security or Internal Affairs. From now, can we try to organize ourselves before even the visitor comes? We have about 1 or 2 months. We should try to either limit the borders coming into the CDB when the visitors are here, because the image that any one of us, when you're driving in Kampala, you see is not what these people see in their capitals. That's number one. The second one, Right Honorable Speaker, the President had the opportunity to visit himself the major spotlights where construction work is taking place. As Parliament, we always have committees that do oversight. Since this thing is very big, Right Honorable Speaker, I would want to propose that if it is possible, you lead us and we find an opportunity to visit some of these places, even the construction works which is taking place within Kampala.
There's a procedure.
And we put more pressures there.
There's a
procedure, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I had reservations when you earlier on ruled that the report that was presented by Honorable Abdul Katun to the chairperson of the coordinating committee was just informative. Right Honorable Speaker, as we continue debating, there are things that we need to talk about in the House. We are hosting international visitors, and these are high-class visitors. So we don't want to talk about how our bedrooms look, because this is a national forum. We cannot say that we are exposing how ready we are when we are talking about roads. Right Honorable Speaker, I just want to congratulate you, in particular, for having the first speaker in the history of our country to host this very important conference. And I want, in the procedure that I wanted to move, that the debate of this particular item be closed, such that, Right Honorable Speaker, Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm on a procedure. Wouldn't it be procedurally right to close this motion and
close the
debate of this motion? Right, Honorable Speaker, wouldn't it be procedurally right to close the debate on this report such that other issues are handled in the committees internally?
Thank you. Honourable members, first of all, as I said before, that we are ready to host our visitors. Very ready. It would have been selfish of the committee and the speaker and the deputy speaker not to tell you what is happening in the institution. We are giving a brief of what is happening in the institution so that you're part and parcel of the whole activity. Now, the issues of whether we are ready, whether our bedrooms are clean, that one is sorted. We are ready to host our visitors. And the issue of the traffic, the what is sorted out. That's why you find the president himself went inspecting the roads because he values these visitors. When you talk about the lights, the whatever, the express highway, the lights are almost complete. They are putting lights there. Can we get an update from Government Chief Whip, who was in that team? Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, you have said it majorly all. Honourable members, in preparation to all major international events that Uganda will host in 2024, the following are being done. And I want to give a quick response to a very pertinent issue raised by Honorable Sereko, the Member of Parliament for Kampala Central. On the issue of Entebbe Express Highway, we all know that by design, Entebbe Express Highway was meant to have the lights. And as we speak, for those who have used Entebbe Express Highway, the lights are getting fitted. Absolutely. On the question of major infrastructure, it has been alluded to that the head of state took it upon himself as the chief host to move and inspect major infrastructure, roads, the airport itself, accommodation, the conference facilities, and in his own wisdom, as part of boosting what Kampala Capital City Authority is doing, he directed that the Special Forces Command, the unit in charge of engineering, will work on some roads. And as I speak, they have started. Those roads have been handed over to them. Honorable colleagues, to support what the Right Honorable Speaker has said, we may not be where we would wish to be, but we will get there. And we want to promise you that we will get there. And we shall host all these international conferences successfully. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and you'll find that those so-called big countries, the big boys around, used to be where we are, and will also be there.
Thank you.
Yes, tourism, you want to speak after your boss?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. But just to avert the fears of the members, despite what you say, Uganda has been ranked as the 6th best destination in hosting MICE in Africa. MICE is meetings, meetings, conferences, and events. Where what you're talking about falls under. So is NAM, so is U77. So we've been ranked among the top 6 in the whole of Africa. So there should be no worry. When it comes to hotels, UTB, which is a member of the committee, does classifications of all the hotels in this country. And I'm sure a list has been availed that are safe, and the classes are there. So anyone online can book and know this is the class I'll get when I travel to Uganda. So there should be no worry, Right Honourable
Thank
Speaker.
you. That's why you see we're even hosting AFCON. AFCON. Next item.
Item 6, motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for agricultural production facilities.
Honorable members, the importance of water for production in agriculture cannot be overemphasized. Right now, most parts of the country are receiving a lot of rainfall, but within few months, some of these areas will be water strained, like my place in Karamoja. This calls for a functional water for production, storage facilities, among others. Whether or not it is being done, the committee will now present its report. It will reveal, because you will find my brother Frank, will tell you he has put up a dam in Bukedea, but now it will be the committee to tell us whether it's there or not there. So committee, can you present your report?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for agricultural production facilities. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker, in the same vein, I beg to lay the minutes of the meetings of the Committee on Agriculture while considering the report of the water for production facilities in Teso and Karamoja. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I now beg to present the report of the Committee of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for production, for agricultural production facilities. And I am not going to read word for word. It is uploaded, and I believe members have gone through it. I go straight to page 3 on introduction. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, in accordance with Rule 159C and D, 189 B, E, and F of our Rules of Procedure, the Committee of Agriculture conducted a field visit to Karamoja and Teso sub-regions to assess water for production facilities, and now reports in accordance with Rule 34 of the Rules of Procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, just to give a small background, like you had already hinted, globally water for production accounts for over 80% of water drawn for use. According to Ministry of Water and Environment, less than 2% of water available in the country is used in production. But there is a sharp increase in demand, primarily due to climate change and degradation of natural resources. Consequently, 83% of the agricultural communities in Uganda continue to depend on rainfall as a source of water for production. About 21% of agricultural communities utilize wetlands 14% utilize streams, while the least used operational sources of water for production include valley tanks, which is 0.2%, and rock catchment rainwater harvesting, which is 0.3%, according to UBOS. UBOS states that further that the country is increasingly facing major challenges of prolonged droughts and unexpected floods due to climate change variability. It is predicted that Uganda will be water stressed by the year 2025. Cognizant of the climate variability and the importance of water for production, government prioritized increased access and use of water for agricultural production in the NDP3 through the 5 sub-interventions that are lined up here. One is completion of irrigation schemes under construction, construction of new irrigation schemes, development of infrastructure and services for bulk water storage and transfer, including water abstraction systems, transmission mains, water pumping systems, storage tanks, and water distribution networks. The other is development of solar-powered small-scale irrigation systems for smallholder farmers outside conventional irrigation schemes. And the fifth one is promotion of water use efficiency in agricultural production. In addition, Right Honorable Speaker, the interventions mentioned, government through Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Water has been providing infrastructure for water for production facilities in the country since 1960 to date. The infrastructure includes valley dams, valley tanks, earth dams, and irrigation schemes, among others. On page 5, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we have a table showing water for agricultural production loan projects in Uganda. However, as a summary of that table, government's efforts to reduce reliance on rain-fed agriculture and mitigate the effects of climate change remain unsatisfactory, as the plans are not yet yielding the desired results. Several challenges have been recorded with these projects during the course of their implementation and utilization, and they include lack of a sustainability plan for the infrastructure, poor location and siting of facilities, placing them in areas that are far from people who are in dire need. There is misuse of established facilities by the beneficiary communities, abandonment of projects by contractors at the implementation phase, thus causing loss of funds to government. There is also absence of a clear policy framework streamlining the roles of Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Water. A recent cabinet directive placed the responsibility of establishing and managing water for agricultural production facilities for on-farm activities under MAIF, while Ministry of Water is supposed to establish and manage facilities for on-farm, off-farm activities. There is also the challenge of poor or inappropriate project design. There is poor coordination during implementation and shoddy work and incomplete work in most of the facilities. Right Honorable Speaker, like I said, the committee visited the two sub-regions of Karamoja and Teso based on the background information that is highlighted below. Karamoja's prevailing pastoral and agro-pastoral production systems are characterized by long dry spell and cyclical droughts that are exacerbated by climate change. The scarcity of water associated with the drought is considered the greatest risk to agricultural development. In addition, A considerable number of valley tanks, up to 20,000 cubic meters, and wells have been constructed across the sub-region, but most have dried up due to the long dry season. Much of the existing water storage infrastructure suffered from consequences of years of utilization without proper operation and maintenance. Furthermore, water catchment areas supplying water to the water storage sites are under threat due to overgrazing, forest destruction, bushfires, and increasing charcoal production. Like in other regions, Teso sub-region depends on agriculture as a key economic activity. However, the area has been experiencing erratic and unpredictable rainfall, which has resulted into frequent floods, waterlogging, and severe prolonged droughts, contributing to food insecurity. The government has established a number of water for production facilities, but the demand is still high. It is against this background, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, that the committee conducted a field visit to Karamoja and Teso to assess the selected water for production facilities. The objectives of the field trip are captured under 3.0. The methodology is under 4.0, and under 4.0, after the field trip, the committee had an engagement with the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Water, and Ministry of Finance. The sites that were visited are in 4.2, in Moroto, Nakonyen, Valley Dam, Amuda District, Katotin Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme, and Kosike Valley Dam. In Kabong, the committee visited Longoromit Valley Dam and Usake Valley Dam. In Kotido, the committee visited Kaoyangorok Valley Dam and Kailong Valley Dam. In Abim, the committee visited Kawomori Valley Dam and Kanu Valley Dam. In Soroti, Alere Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme. In Bukedia, a Chomai Irrigation Scheme and a Kero Valley Tank. In Kumi, a Mosingo Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme and a Gurut Valley Tank. While in Serere, the committee visited Opapa Small-Scale Irrigation Scheme. Findings. In Nakonyen, in Moroto District, the committee was informed that work commenced in January 2023. The facility, after completion, would have a capacity of 1,580,000 cubic meters and would serve the people of Tapach and the neighboring communities. And the committee was informed that a cost of 9.1 billion was to be spent. Committee observations. The cost of the project has been increasing over time. The original cost was 8.1 billion. At the time of the committee visit, it had increased to 9.1 billion. As of October 2023, MAIF had revised the cost to 10.9 billion. After 9 months, the project is behind schedule and may not be completed within the planned activities. The project design provides for water points for livestock, but lacks a provision for irrigation, aquaculture, and provision of clean water for domestic consumption. There was no adherence to social and environmental standards that was seen. But on a positive note, as the contractor continued to do its work, there was provision for watering points for livestock, even as the construction continued. Recommendations. MAIP should ensure that the contractor expedites completion of the remaining works without compromising the quality to avoid additional costs. This should be done under close supervision of the ministry. The project design should be revised to make provisions for irrigation, fish farming, and clean water for water provision. Then MAIP should ensure that the contractor adheres to environmental and social safety standards by planting trees around the project site. For Katotin small-scale irrigation, which is located in Amudat district, it was started on the 11th of May 2021 and completed on 20th January 2022 at a cost of 1.9 billion. Observations by the committee: the project has not been handed over to Amudat district local government, and this is hampering rehabilitation works for the facility. Then the committee also observes that the criteria for allocation of the 10 acres of land to the community members wasn't clear. The recommendation is that Ministry of Water hands over Katotin irrigation scheme to Amudat district local government, who should in turn establish a facility user committee. For Kosike Valley Dam, still in Amudat, this is being implemented by MAIF, and at the time of the visit, 1.6 billion had already been spent, and the cost of the project is expected to be 11.6 billion. At the time the committee visited, the work was at a standstill. Only clearing of the site had been done, and the committee was informed that there was disagreement on the issue of land ownership. So the committee observes that government is likely to lose money if the issues that led to stalling of the project are not addressed. Then the Ministry of Agriculture, who is implementing it, did not adequately engage the community. That is what the committee discovered from the field. Recommendations: MAIP should expedite the process of compensating the landowners so as to pave way for faster and safer project implementation. And as a matter of urgency, adequately engage stakeholders to resolve the diverse interests and concerns of the community. Because the community reported that, I think, their traditional area was tampered with during the siting of the project. Longoromit Dam in Kabong district, this was constructed by Ministry of Water at a cost of 7.2 billion. At the same time, when Arechek Dam in Napak district and Kobebe Dam in Moroto district were constructed. Apparently, in the region, the best dam that one can see is Arechek Dam, which is in Napak district. By the time the committee visited the dam in Longoromit, in Kabong, it was not functional and completely ran down. Observations: the committee observed that even the wild animals from Kidepo Valley Park, National Park, have escalated the rate of silting of the dam because they also drink from the same dam. We are informed water weeds, some weeds have invaded the park, and that is why the wild animals are getting scattered everywhere. For Longoromit Dam is dilapidated to a large extent and would require a substantial amount of resources to rehabilitate. Recommendation: Ministry of Water should budget for fencing and rehabilitation of Longoromit Earth Dam in the financial year coming. And the funds should be released during the first quarter. Because sometimes, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we appropriate monies to some of these entities to do due diligence to water for production, but monies are not released. The committee recommends that effective financial year 2024-2025, UWA should budget for fencing Kidepo National Park to stop the animals from escaping from the park and provide drinking points to the animals. Yes. On Usake Dam, located in Ik constituency in Kabong, the work is currently ongoing and it is being implemented by MAIF, and it is expected that when completed, it will be having a capacity of 2,888,000 cubic meters, and with a cost of 6.9 billion shillings, of which at the time of the visit, 4.7 had already been spent. Observations: progress of construction works is between 50 to 60%, and yet the completion date is nearing. The equipment and manpower on the site that we saw were inadequate, and also there is a permanent water source that makes that site very strategic, and the watering traps were constructed. However, there is no adherence to environmental and social safety standards. We did not see any tree around the dam being constructed, and of course lack of community involvement. Recommendations: MAIF should ensure timely completion of Usake Dam, and the contractor should be urged to plant trees around the project site to demarcate the land and reduce the soil erosion. Kaoyangorok Valley Dam in Kotido was constructed by MAIF at a cost of 9 billion. During the visit of the committee, the district officials reported that the dam had never been handed over to Kotido district local government. Observations by the committee: the dam is located in wilderness, in a very remote and insecure area. The place is uninhabited, no road, and it is hard for the intended beneficiaries to access and utilize. The committee also observes that water was covered with algae, water weeds, and swamp vegetation, which made it difficult for livestock to drink from that dam. Recommendations: MAIF should complete the project and hand it over to Kotido district local government for further management. MAIF, through their Department of Agricultural Mechanization, could support the construction of an access road to the facility, and also plan for maintenance of the facility in that area. For Kailong Dam, this is located in Lokitalaibu sub-county in Kotido district, and it was done by Ministry of Water. According to Ministry of Finance, when they appeared before the committee, they reported that Kailong was constructed at 1 billion shillings, 1,095,857,000, and handed over for utilization. But some records put the figure at 3.2 billion. So the committee wasn't able to verify which figure was the right one. Committee observations: the facility was not completed and was not handed over to Kotido district local government. This was by Ministry of Water. And there are discrepancies, like I've said, in the project costs by different entities. People interpret the figures differently. The recommendations: projects should be completed and handed over to Kotido district local government, which will hand it over to the user communities. The committee also recommends that the Auditor General should carry out a value for money audit of the project and ascertain the actual project cost. Kawomere in Abim was constructed at a cost of 3.5 billion by Ministry of Water and Environment. The committee found the facility surrounded by bushes. The facility had algae and water hyacinth, and the committee observed that the valley tank was actually non-functional. It had a non-functional outlet system, affecting its ability to provide water to the beneficiaries in a controlled manner. Whereas Ministry of Finance reported that the project was commissioned, the district and community reported that construction of the facility has neither been completed nor handed over to the district. Recommendations: Ministry of Water should complete construction of this project and hand it over to the district local government. The facility should be fenced with immediate effect because the committee was informed that some 4 children are drawn in that water because of curiosity to go and swim in a non-protected dam. Kanu Dam, this construction facility was launched in April 2022 by Her Excellency the Vice President. The work at the facility has stalled due to land wrangles. So the committee observes that MAIF should consult the district leadership about the choice of this project. The committee was informed that the committee and the community and the local government were not consulted, and that is why the land wrangle is going on. The committee recommends that MAIF should work with the government valuer and local leaders to verify the list of all land owners so that they are compensated and construction work starts as soon as possible. Our Lere small irrigation scheme in Katine in Soroti district. This facility was constructed by Ministry of Water. The facility has a valley tank with a capacity of 20,000 cubic meters, a solar abstraction system, irrigation network, and modern nursery bed, and among others. The committee observes that the facility has not been handed over to Soroti District Local Government, yet it is being utilized. The committee also observes that farmers lack skills in good agricultural practices and agribusiness management. Recommendation: Ministry of Water should hand over to Soroti District Local Government this facility. The committee also recommends that the district, through the production department, ensures that farmers are trained on irrigation practices, agribusiness, and supported to maintain the infrastructure. Achomai irrigation scheme, which is located in Kamutur sub-county, Bukedia district, and is still under the construction of Ministry of Agriculture under the Agricultural Value Chain Development Project. According to Ministry of Finance, construction of this project commenced in November 2021 and is expected to be completed in July 2024. It is supposed to have a number of projects within it: construction of 6 secondary canals, 6.4 kilometers of scheme roads, storage building, residential and office buildings, drop structures, flood protection works, storage tank, embankment filling and compactment, and construction of a bridge over River Sironko at the intake site to connect Bukedia and Bulambuli districts. The scheme is a large one and is estimated to cover 1,608 hectares, where the net irrigable area will be 1,480 hectares, with its water resource from River Sironko at estimated cost of that amount of money, $37,807 million US. The committee observes that the project implementation is slow, whereas Ministry of Finance reported that the progress of the work had reached 47%.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I would like to thank the Senior Honourable Okorimoi for the wonderful report. My procedural point, Right Honourable Speaker, is in form of a request that since we have this report uploaded and she's well far to the observations, that she goes straight to the recommendations and we can carry on a meaningful debate. Otherwise, her report is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right Honourable Speaker, I thought I would talk everything about Bukedia, but my brother is stopping me. He doesn't know that Bukedia is a district of Enalongo. Right Honourable Speaker, recommendations. The committee recommends that a provision be made to retain Tajar Valley Tank operational so as to save government money from getting wasted. The committee was informed that the facility was established at about 2 billion shillings, and the committee wishes that another project like Tajar would be given to the local community as the other major project goes on. The committee also recommends that government undertakes deliberate efforts to source market for the scheme produce when operational to motivate farmers. On Akero Valley Tank in Bukedia still, now that my brother doesn't want stories, observations. Akero Valley Tank infrastructure is dilapidated and needs to be rehabilitated. The committee recommends that MAIF should budget for the silting and renovation of Akero Valley Tank, and this should include restoration of its banks, renovating inlets and spillways, and all the others that are listed. The committee also recommends that MAIF prioritizes and expedites rehabilitation of this dam as soon as can be possible. A Mosingo small-scale irrigation scheme. Recommendations. The committee recommends that Ministry of Water that constructed this scheme hands over the project to the district local government for further management and sustainability. The committee also recommends that the ministry reviews the cost of renting land to the farmers with a view of maintaining profitability of the investment. The committee further recommends MAIF and Ministry of Water should harmonize the provision of agricultural extension services and personnel. The line ministries, in consultation with the district local governments, should facilitate the formation of a facility management committee to provide a framework for effective maintenance of the facilities. A Gurut Valley Tank in Kumi. The committee recommends that Ministry of Agriculture ensures completion of the project in accordance with the design specifications. Then, upon completion, the ministry should hand over the project to Kumi District Local Government to facilitate the usage of the facility by the community. Opapa small-scale irrigation scheme.
Honourable members, most of these dams are either not completed, they are not fenced. Even those that are completed have not been handed over to the district for better management. So, as the Honourable Serko was saying, you do give us the generic observation that one, the fencing, there is poor design and delayed completion of almost all of these dams, and then the fencing and rehabilitation of these dams are not being done. For instance, you've talked about Akero Dam is dilapidated. Even the one of Achamai, it is behind schedule. When you talk about releases of funds, because I know agriculture is going to come and say, you know, we budgeted for this, but we were not given money. Then the issue of fencing. Kidepo. The animals should not live together with the people, because at the end of the day, one will eat the other. So there should be a fencing of these places, and then unprotected dams. I told the Minister of Agriculture that I'm going to fine him because of one of the unprotected dam around my place, and I've lost over 20 cows in that unprotected dam. So we need to finish this kind of dams. You conclude.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. As I conclude, the issues that you have summarized are actually the issues that the committee got on the ground for nearly all the water for production facilities that the committee visited, except that most of the ones that are being implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture, they are still on construction stage. A number of them are not concluded. Then the other issue, Right Honourable Speaker.
But then, Chair, how do we know which dam should be constructed by agriculture and which one should go to Ministry of Water?
That is the question, Right Honourable Speaker. The Minister of Finance, when he appeared before the committee, had requested for a tripartite meeting between the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agriculture, and Ministry of Water. We are still waiting for that meeting, but the Minister of Agriculture has already informed us as a committee that the matter is being handled by Her Excellency, the Vice President, at the executive level. So he had requested that we leave that issue to be handled by the Vice President, because right now it is not clear who is where. So I think it is a matter for the executive to handle. Then, Right Honourable Speaker, finally, the Speaker will give you time.
Finalize.
Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, one thing that the committee observed, that in the water for production facilities that are in Teso sub-region, most of them don't have a problem of land wrangles. Most of the sites in Karamoja have a problem of land. There is a lot of land wrangles, and that is what has delayed.
That is because of failure to involve the communities. Once you involve the communities in this, then you cannot have the wrangles.
So in conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker, the demand for water for production facilities by communities across the country continue to increase, more especially in water-stressed areas like Karamoja and Teso sub-regions. Honourable colleagues, in areas where the facilities exist, the communities are underserved. With those submissions, I would like to thank you for listening, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair of the committee. Abrahams.
Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to thank the chairperson of the committee for an elaborate report. I want to start with the information that I wanted to provide. I think the discussion of defining who should do the construction works on certain sites needs to be discussed seriously, because there was a conflict in, I think, that dam you're talking about, serving the people of Tepes. The Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Water at one point were colliding over a site, and up to today we do not know whether the matter was resolved.
And the Karamojong leaders even organized and mobilized people to chase the people from agriculture to ban the equipment. We got that information.
I think those are the issues that need to be resolved because our Karamojong don't like confusion. One person comes, a site is given, the second day it's somebody else they don't know. That's basically just a reaction. Two, I would like to observe that in the whole of Karamoja,
But as leaders, let's desist from mobilizing our communities. Let's be leaders. You cannot say we cannot give one. This is one government. You cannot mobilize people to have equipments banned, to have these people attacked. That was very unfortunate. My Karamo young people don't behave like that. You get it, eh? So next time, let's not do that. It is good for us to come back and sit and agree. This is consensus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was observing that while there is a problem of water in Karamoja, Kotido district is the most water stressed. And I think I want to appeal to the Minister of Agriculture, if they're able to help in providing water. This is what has caused problems between the people of Kotido and the people of Acholi. Because every dry season, these guys have to go in the name of following the water that flows to the swamps during the dry season. And if these matters are not attended to, people are bound to have a lot of conflicts. We have a very critical dam called Longore Dam between the people of Agago and the people of Kotido. It has stayed for years, but so far it's silted up. I would like to appeal to government to consider desilting this dam in order to help our people. And finally, Maif, the dam in Kauyangor, is actually incomplete. The chairperson tried to be polite. When we went there, even the LC1 of the area was willing to walk through the dam. Now, if a dam's depth is about 3 meters, then what would you call a water pond? How many people can it serve? How long would it be able to last? Because the challenge we have is the water reservoirs that are constructed, most of them do not provide water in the dry season. And yet the purpose is to provide water during the dry season. So if these reservoirs cannot provide water, what alternative do our people have? I think it's important for the engineers to begin to make better designs and maybe think of other options of putting water pumps so that in the dry season, wind power can be used to pump water into the dams so that it restricts a lot of movement. Thank you.
Thank you. Ik.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. First of all, I want to thank the chairperson and the members for the well-elaborated report. Madam Speaker, I want to begin with the issue of Mugusake Dam. This dam was launched in 2018, and it has taken 6 years down the road. Again, the first money that was put in that dam was truly, it is true that it was 6.9 billion. But now there have been about 3 contractors on the same dam until the ministry took over. Then, Madam Speaker, on the issue of community involvement on social corporate responsibility, Madam Speaker, I remember one day that we had agreed that for them to pick Maram on some site near my farm, and we said that let that money be used for opening community access road connecting my constituency and Dodo West County. And these people did not give that money. They just went away. Thirdly, Madam Speaker, on the issue of sometimes on the issue of Longoromiti Dam, Madam Speaker, it is true. We share that. We have been sharing with elephants, with the buffaloes. On Saturday when I came, I got many elephants in the afternoon on the road. I had to give them way. I first stopped, I reversed, then I let them to go. Otherwise, these animals have been damaging the crops in most of the sub-counties, Madam Speaker. That park needs to be fenced so that animals, because these animals have caused a lot of food insecurity in the region.
There's an order. Somebody is putting you in order.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable from Ikiki. Iki.
No, it's Iki.
Iki. I don't know what he's putting on. Whether it's a Maradona shirt. I'm therefore.
Before I came to the house, I read the rules of procedure, Madam Speaker, on dressing code.
Now you are the speaker to respond.
So, I don't know whether the colleague is in order to be on microphone when he's putting on a shirt, an ordinary shirt, in this respectable, honorable house. I thank you.
Honorable members, I am actually constrained to rule. Because you see, the young man was almost being eaten by the animals. So next time he will come in a suit. So let him finish his statement. Because he met those big animals.
Most obliged, Madam Speaker. As I conclude, Madam Speaker, on the issue of the dams in Karamoja, sometimes I saw the chairperson complaining that sometimes the ministries even account, Ministry of Water, Ministry of Agriculture, they account for one dam. How is that possible? That these two ministries allocate money to one dam and then they account for one dam. I think we need that issue to be sorted out.
Thank you. That will be clarified by the Minister. Yes, Dr. Boka.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to add my voice to thank the chairperson of the committee for that report. Number one, the issues that have been highlighted from Teso and Karamoja cut across the water-stressed areas. I would like to suggest, Madam Speaker, that the committee considers a more comprehensive assessment to look into other areas like West Nile, Busoga, Bunyoro, amongst other things, to have a national picture of the situation.
Actually, when we start discussing about Karamoja and Teso alone, they will imagine it is because the speaker comes from those two areas. So what we are going to do, I am happy that the minister is here and these things are real. Let the minister give us a feedback that they are going on ground, but the committee, can you do this comprehensive report for the whole country? For the whole country. Because you are talking about Teso and Karamoja. Those are just not even 2%. Now you've left out the cattle corridor. You've left Honorable Minister, can you come and because all these things are true, Minister is not going to deny.
Right Honorable Speaker, congratulations on the conference coming. I want to thank the chair and the members for the oversight report. Madam Speaker, I have gone through the report, I just received it today, but we have been interacting with the committee. For each of the dams we are implementing, if time allowed, we can go into detail of the challenges we are facing. Generally, Maif, the committee knows our budget. When we talk of water for agricultural production, we are talking about water for livestock, we are talking about aquaculture, the fish ponds, we are talking about irrigation technologies. So all of these, and of course we even talk about farm access roads, because they are rural roads that are not coded by either Ministry of Works or the district. So when we are going to put this water for this infrastructure, we have to ensure we open the roads. So the common factor we have in all of this is a limited budget. Our development budget as the Ministry of Agriculture